Getting what you did last night. Hi, guys.
Find it.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
See both of us on there.
Yeah. Is everybody else still sleeping, Jerry? Can you hear us okay? James Carl says Happy New Year. Tammy Ferguson. Skip Wilson. Morning, all. You got two more minutes and it's still morning. Rich A. I said we were fortunate enough to be outside today, out on the front porch, and the weather was kind of iffy at first, so we thought we might have to do it from Lanai, but actually the sun's out. It's really pretty. I said the high today was going to be 69, but right now my thermostat says 72, so that's kind of perfect. Not much wind going on. Yesterday we had a pretty strong wind yesterday afternoon, and I'm kind of glad it's not here because right now it's settled down to where it's just barely a breeze. Okay. Cindy says or Skip Wilson says the sound is perfect, so that's good. Cindy G, Happy New Year. Ruth Ferguson, Happy New Year from Spruce Creek. I have an awful time saying it. I don't know why, but it's kind of tongue-tied when I say Spruce Creek. So, Joe says you can hear you fine. And he said, hey, Grumpy. Yeah, he's not had enough cookies yet today.
Where's Buddy?
Under my chair.
Okay.
Here he is. Come here, boo-boo. Come here. Get your chewy.
Well, you can sure tell it's the holidays. Every visitor from around the world is here. You can tell those is from the north. The people that live here full time, today's a chilly day, so they'll have long pants, a sweater on, that kind of thing. Women I'm talking about. The ones from up north are running around half naked. They think it's really great.
It just shows how old you are. Hey, Ohio. William says Happy New Year to both you and the hound dog. Oh, TR gets to watch us live today. You on Christmas break, TR? Yeah, it's kind of nice. Those school holidays. I said you get a little bit more than the average person. And then you get the summer off. But yeah, we've been. It's been kind of quiet here. We didn't have any company this year, so it's just been us and Buddy. And Buddy's like having a whole troop here.
He's eating something now.
What are you eating, Buddy?
I don't know, but that's why he throws up. He eats all this crap.
Well,
he's just like Katie. KT.
Yeah.
She ate everything.
Yeah. But she says she's on her break. Oh well, too bad.
Who's on a break?
TR. She said she finally gets to watch it live, and I thought maybe the school was still out on holiday, but she said she's on a break.
So the school might be on holiday, but even when I went to school, the school teachers was required because they would get.
Buddy.
Seems to me, I can't remember now, but it seems to me that they would have like these meetings of what to do for the next semester. And,
teachers conference.
Yeah, teachers conference and things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think the teachers really get that much time off. And truthfully, people's going to hate me for this. I don't think the kids should have that much time off. And I went to school and I had summer off. I think back about those days. I didn't need that time off. I went to work. I worked at gas stations and stuff, pumping gas. So if I could go to that, why couldn't I done some, stuff in high school that maybe would have helped me career-wise? Today, we got a bunch of kids graduating high school that can't even write.
Well, Amanda Hood says beautiful weather there, snowing here in mid-Michigan. Oh, honey, I feel for you. I'm, it just never missed the snow. Nice to look at. I look at it on TV.
I don't mind the snow. Never did mind the snow. Two different kind of people up from the north. Those that work in offices and those that work outside. And the ones that work outside are the ones that hate the weather the worst. And most of them that come down here are usually the ones that live in does that kind of stuff. Electrical people, I don't even know. The people that, semi-drivers, I was one of them. We hated driving in snow-packed roads, but even worse than that would be ice. Ice had to be the number one threat to anybody on the highway.
Yeah. Oh, and Laura says, Happy New Year from suburban Chicago. 29 degrees, no snow on the ground yet.
Yeah, speaking of that, I just got done watching a news flash on the mayor of Chicago.
In a news flash?
I just can't wait till January 20th to see how all this is going to turn out. I mean, it's going to be better than a movie. Get popcorn and a beer and sit there in front of the TV and wait for the news update.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Barbara Moormill, Happy New Year, Skip and Sue from Wake Forest, North Carolina. A new watcher and enjoying your shows.
Lake where?
Wake Forest, North Carolina.
Oh.
Well, welcome, Barbara.
I wonder if they're close to where they had that flood and those people are being ignored and not getting any help at all.
Oh, you
keep rolling your eyes, it's a fact. Those
Well,
people are paid taxes, they worked in this goddamn country, and they deserve to get help. Not some idiot over in some foreign country somewhere that wants $100 billion for war machines while we let American citizens live in tents on cold nights.
Yeah. Okay. You need your cookies.
Hmm.
But yeah, what kind of weather are they having in North Carolina?
Bring back the draft. Amen to that.
And Jerry, Buddy's going to get a haircut. Skip's been doing his hair. That's why he looks so good.
I haven't been doing his hair. Well, I haven't. The only thing I've been doing is cutting areas like around his eyes so he can see.
Yeah.
Well, that's not cutting his hair.
Well, we're looking for a new groomer. I wasn't not pleased with the one that we had, so
None of them. But they don't want to do it. You keep saying you're going to do this, and after she has to go through different trimmers because none of them want to do it.
I am going to a different one.
Yeah, another different one until they have Buddy for one time, and then they're going to say,
I've went to the same place. They just give me a different
There's too many dogs around here that are good to do business with than to do business with one that is not.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I went to the same place, just had different people, and not happy with any of them. So I got the name of somebody that does one of our neighbors' dogs, and
Do you talk to them on the phone?
Not yet.
This is crazy. I want my oil changed. Oh, but I forgot to tell you that the motor doesn't run.
Hey, I've been kind of busy, so it's not been on my list.
What about the lady that comes around and has her own trailer or whatever? She does it right here at your house.
All of those are full. I mean, they aren't taking new customers. Don't eat that. Don't eat that.
He eats anything.
I know, buddy. No. Here, where's your Chewy? Where's your Chewy? Ugh. Here, eat that. Carol says Happy New Year. And TR says the teachers get 2 weeks off, and it's well deserved, I think.
I know when I work for other companies, not all of them, but we generally, there was a lot of years I never got Christmas off, really. I was stuck in a truck stop somewhere. Tried doing that. Tried getting stuck at a truck stop on Christmas or Thanksgiving because I couldn't get home. And then the first year that I worked for Ryder, which we were contracted to the Saturn Corporation for the Saturn cars, for those that remember that car, we had to join the UAW, and they made us an abridged part of the union down there because the employees down there said if they're going to haul union parts, they need to be part of our union. I had no problem with that. So they elected me as a union official, and they treated us well. That was the first time in my life that we got, what was it, 10 days, wasn't it? It was 10 days off for Christmas with the rest of the General Motors people. Now, my dad had been getting that off for many years. I never got that off. When I got that 10 days off, I was lost. I had no idea. As a matter of fact, I had so much time off working for General Motors that at the end of the year, they called me up and said that I had a certain date to use up the 2 remaining vacation weeks that I actually had that I hadn't used. And they had a program called Use Them or Lose Them. They'll send you a check for them 2 weeks, but you don't get the time off. And I've never had that much time off in my life.
DGM noticed our new chairs. Aren't those nice? They feel a lot better than those others, too. That's where our Christmas presents. And William says he's 61. He's a Florida native. He's never really seen snow.
Go.
Yeah,
if you've never seen snow, I mean, don't let snow scare you. I mean, I wouldn't want to drive on it. But truth is, any snow that we've had in Indiana, even the worst snowstorm that I can remember, we were homebound during the winter of 78, the blizzard of 78.
You were.
Huh?
I said you were. I finally made it home.
The whole Midwest was. They were all shut down for, I'll say, 2 days maybe.
Yeah.
But that's years ago. Now with the equipment they've got and the chemicals they got, they can spray the roads with. You know, I wouldn't be scared of it. It's just that we just choose not to live in it anymore because it isn't the snow so much. That don't scare me. That disappears in a day or two. The ice is something to be concerned about, especially shady areas on the interstate or bridges. But we just wanted to get away from the cold. That was probably more than anything. The 14-degree temperatures, that kind of thing. We just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah. David Williams says, Happy New Year. 39 degrees in Seattle. No rain yet. Well, that's good.
It's always raining in Seattle.
But there's no rain yet, so it's 39 degrees.
Well, it's like Indiana. Just wait. It will rain.
Wrestler says, for fun, anyone want to share any good hangover remedies? Asking for a friend. Mm-hmm. Anybody want to share any good hangover recipes?
I never had a hangover in my life, so I don't know what that is. I mean, it's just like a headache. I guess it's one of my blessings. I have never had a headache in my life.
Yeah.
And Sue knows that. I never have.
Yeah.
And I don't, so I don't know. I know what it is, but I don't know how to relate to it.
And then, it doesn't make sense to me because every time I'm off anywhere, if I got a cold or anything, I get a headache.
Well, and Nixon, our granddaughter, she gets migraines.
Yeah.
And I don't know what a migraine is, but whatever it is, it almost makes her to the point where she can't even function.
Well, and most people with migraines are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never had one, but I understand how they're really, really bad. Happy New Year from the Village of Liberty Park from Mark Ryan. Well, hey, Mark. Ruth Ferguson, 70 here, born in Miami, lived here in Florida all my life. Well, you're lucky, Ruth. Like I said, we trudged in the snow for years and years.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're somebody that sits in the house all day and don't have to worry about it, well, that's one thing. Look out the window and see it.
Well, you
have to be out in it.
I mean, that is the option. If you're retired, you really don't have nothing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming you're not working part-time somewhere. My dad, he's an outdoor person, always has been. But after he retired, he came down here for a couple of years, tried it. He didn't like it, so he ended up selling his little place he had and went back to Indiana. Mm-hmm. He'd go outside, and he liked to tinker a lot. He didn't have to shovel off his driveway, but he liked to buy toys, so he would buy these big snowblower machines that were monstrosity big. I said, Dad, what do you need something that big for? He goes, well, he said, you never know. Lord. But hey, he didn't bother nobody. And whenever it was really bad out or whatever, he just sat in the house and drank, I don't know, hot tea, I suppose, and just watched TVs. He didn't worry. His favorite show was when what's-his-name was on there with the lottery.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name? Mark something.
Yeah.
He did all the phone call-ins on the Bob and Tom show. Whatever his name was, Dad would have his tickets laying out there, and he'd have his pencil, and it was a big thing.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Thank you, Ruth. Yeah, Buddy's adorable, but he's still got a lot of puppy in him, so he's kind of hard to control sometimes.
Quit.
Oh, she says she has the same lemon pothos plant. Well, this, honey, is this is a potato. a sweet potato plant, and this is a vinca, and it just the flowers is off of it. It's on my foot, and then this thing here. Like I said, I don't. This is my thriller. They say filler, thriller, spiller. That's how you plant your pots, and so that's my thriller. And I don't have any idea what it is. If that's the pothos plant, why that's what it is then. But I use it in all my pots because you always need something. You need something tall, and you need something to fill, and then you need something to spill over. So that's the way I always learn to do it. Anyhow. Let's see. Laura says Josie's going to the groomers on Friday for a bath and nail trim. She's not real crazy about it when I drop her off. Well, I don't think any of them are because they're away from you. But like I said, Buddy's particularly crazy because he doesn't like water. He just goes nuts.
Give him a bath and he just goes nuts.
Yeah, and we don't know why because we've had him since he was like 5-6 weeks old, and we can't think of anything that would have scared him, but we don't know. But he's getting better. And I said this last time I didn't. The skip gave him a bath and I couldn't hear him. So, hey, Happy New Year, Judy. And yes, and Josie is a cutie pie. Susan says Happy New Year. Kathy Plum, back in Michigan, 28 degrees and snowing. Oh, honey, I feel for you. So when's the next trip down? Soon, I hope.
Have you been reading some of the arguments or whatever people have been doing on Patreon or the Discord thing?
Not really.
Oh God, it's fun. It's all in fun. I've been reading them. I just think it's funny.
Well, I must have missed some because I didn't see anything that was controversial on there.
I think Sean Paul says something about some old lady that he works with. Mm-hmm. Well, I say old lady because she's 75, and he was talking about how she worked all day with him. It was a busy day, and then after work, she went out to some party that they were having with somebody. Mm-hmm. Then she had a change of clothes in the middle of it, a costume or something put on there. Since she's 75, he said, "I'm whatever old he is. He's 60 or 55 or whatever." He said, "I went home, and she's out partying."
Well, I mean, you do what you got to do. So,
well,
bravo
it's
to
like
her.
We've said, some of the older people here, when people say, well, if they're old, don't let that stop you, because I'm telling you, I went out and played golf with a guy that was pushing 90 years old, and he kicked my ass.
Yeah. Kathy says, nice meeting you both Monday. See you in the spring. Oh, you got to wait till spring to come back. Well,
who?
Kathy. We had lunch with them the other day, her and her husband. Yeah.
Well, she said they rented a house out for the winter. So
yeah, well, they'll be back in the spring. So.
Well, spring here is in February.
Yeah. And Joanne says, don't need the snow anymore. Nope. I said, I don't see the point.
They always say that, and I always wonder, what is it about the snow? Is it the snow or the cold? It can't be both. The snow doesn't.
Yeah, it can be both.
What does the snow do to you? What does the snow do to you?
Well, I can remember getting stuck in it.
If you're retired, you just don't drive in it.
Well, yeah. I spent years driving back and forth.
That's years when you were working, but if you're retired, what does the snow do to you?
Right now, I don't do anything.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I said, I'm here in Florida. I don't do a thing.
I'm saying it's probably
but, they're talking about the kind of cold they're talking about this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if
I think it's supposed to hit tonight.
Yeah, well, the upper part of Florida may get a few flurries. You never know. I remember once, it's been 20, 30 years ago, in Jacksonville got some snow. I don't think they got a lot, but they got kind of a dusting of snow.
The northern part of Florida gets snow, if you want to call it snow, once in a while.
Yeah. And that's why I said they got some measurable snow, but it didn't last long. So Jerry says, our groomer broke our puppy in. We took him for a few short appointments, and they cut a little bit each time. Seemed to work well.
Okay,
we did that at first.
Today's weather here, today's high is 68. Tonight's going to get down to 43. I thought it started tonight. Tomorrow, the low's going to be 39. Friday, the low's going to be 41. Saturday's low's 39. And then starting Sunday, it's a little bit of an upswing. The low's going to be 52, but the high's still only 66, which is okay. Monday's going to be the warmest day, 75, but the low's 43. And Tuesday, we're going back down again, down to 34 at night.
Yeah, and that's what I said. They said January was going to be a cold month, in which we do have those, not all the time.
But not
I
like
I told
this
everybody
year's
that,
been colder, I think.
yeah, we get usually 18 days of winter, but this is gonna be a deal breaker here. I think this year because it started so early. Started in November, and it don't ever seem to get that cold in November,
All
but it
these
did this year.
Canadians brought it down here.
Oh my. Um,
All their vehicles are sucking it right down here.
oh, Popeye says he always likes your diamond head shirt.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I was going to tell him to change it because it doesn't. I thought it just too plain on camera. I like color.
I just got it out of the closet.
Well, I know, but like I said, I like color.
That's you, not me.
Yeah. Well, I said you look kind of pasty,
Yeah, I know. I do look kind of pasty.
so I thought a little color wouldn't hurt. Rester says I was always working on or on call for Christmas and New Year's Day. The last 20 plus years of working, retirement is a huge upgrade. Yeah, I was kind of the same way, and I worked all the overtime that they would throw at me, and so like I said, I was in maintenance, so when everybody else didn't work, we worked. So yeah, I worked a lot
That's
of
true.
holidays.
Also, the upgrades. What do you call them? Machinists.
Yeah,
When a factory closes down for a holiday, that's when machinists are working the hardest
yeah,
because nobody's in there. They can go in and they can work on the machines. They can upgrade them if they have to.
yeah. So I worked a lot of holidays, and but we didn't miss any of them. We just did it the next day. But
I can just remember Dad at General Motors that when they used to shut down, he didn't have a choice. It was required. He had to go to work because he was a something, and he had to show up and do something when they were shut down. I don't know if he worked on machines or what he did, truthfully. I know he didn't like going to work, but he said, I like the money. Because I think they got paid a lot of extra overtime.
that's what I said. I like that overtime because that's double time and a half for holidays. It was pretty good money.
My dad was a working guy his whole life, so if they offered him overtime, I don't recall my dad, other than maybe once or twice when he wasn't feeling good, did he ever turn down any kind of work.
Oh, Anna says hello from Richmond, Indiana. Well, hello, Ann.
From where?
Richmond, Indiana.
Richmond.
Yep.
I used to go through there twice a day, every day. Going to Columbus, Ohio, and then turn around and come back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you discussed before with her about some pop plant or something there.
Pot plant.
There was some kind of plant there that you was always talking about.
No.
Yeah, because you asked her if it's still there. A school bus
They
plant.
used to make school buses there. I forget
Yeah.
the name of them, but I don't know if they'll do it or not.
Yeah. Laura says the last big snowstorm in Chicago was a Super Bowl snowstorm in 2013. 19 inches of snow on Super Bowl Sunday. Wow. That's a Super Bowl Sunday. That makes it even harder because we don't get into sports, but I said, you imagine the people trying to get around.
I'm just trying to imagine how it must have hurt them football players to get hit when they're half frozen.
Oh yeah.
You remember when your hands were that cold and you would accidentally just bump them into something? How much that actually hurt?
I know. I put my gloves on now when it gets below 50 because I had frostbite in my hands, and I had it a couple times. And so now when it gets that cold, my hands actually hurt. My bones hurt. And
Here, want this cookie?
like I said, evidently it stays with you because that was when I was a kid. But like I said, I put my gloves on when it gets too cold because I just can't hardly stand it. So, and Amanda Hood says electrolytes for hangover. Okay, wrestler.
What's
there you
that?
go.
What's an electrolyte?
Electrolytes. Well, I said you can do a lot of what do they call the stuff? Not Tang, but
I'm not asking what to drink. What is an electrolyte?
I'm not a doctor. I don't know this stuff. I know that they tell me I need it, and so I drink.
I'm just of the opinion, if I don't know what it is or if I can't pronounce the word, I'm not eating it or drinking it.
Well, I buy the lemon stuff that I put in my water. And
if electrolyte's that important
got
and it's not a big deal, why can't you buy electrolyte tablet?
Well, you might be able to. I don't know. I just never buy. I buy the drink stuff with the electrolytes.
I'm sure China makes them electrolyte tablets.
Yeah. So let's see where your cookies come from.
Probably China. No, they don't. These are oatmeal cookies. China don't even know what an oatmeal is.
You
They
don't know
don't.
that. Let's see. Let's see. Popeye says Skippy never gets headaches, but I bet he gives a lot of people headaches.
What have I done now?
He said you never get headaches, but you give a lot of people headaches.
Oh, that's okay. They can always walk the other way.
Yeah. Let's see. Healthy Home Cooking said the reason Skip never gets a headache is because he is normally the cause of them. Thanks, guys. Yes, everybody is picking on Skip today.
Well, I can tell you that when I was a union rep, we'd walk into, we have to have these meetings once a month to handle grievances, and we did it once a month. They'd let the grievances get this high, and then they would go in, and it was all a political thing. And I never went in very many of them because there was always a guy that was his job to do that. But whenever he was busy or he couldn't make it for whatever reason, because he might be driving a truck, they would call me and ask me if I'd go in and handle, this month's cases. I'd walk in there, and I can remember old Rex once in a while. He just had that look like, oh shit, he's here.
Oh, Rizzo says, Happy New Year, village people. I started the year off with a birdie this morning. Well, how about that? That's good things to come in the year.
Did you feed it to your cat?
William says, I got tomatoes, garlic, onions, and ghost peppers in my front yard. You do?
Ghost peppers in the front yard. Where's
Yeah.
she live at?
He lives not in the villages, but he lives, I think, you live in Fruitland Park or Leesburg, William?
Well, she got a garden there. Oh, she probably got in a flower bed.
It's a him.
Huh?
William.
She probably got in the flower beds.
Yeah.
You can do that here. That's legal. They passed that law. You can do it in the villages too, in case you people don't know. You can have a garden in your front yard.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do that. But I could see different kinds. I don't know what you call them. What do you call them peppers that's on a bush? Little peppers, and they're red, and they're yellow, and they're green. And they even sell them as like a decorative plant because nobody eats the peppers. But you can eat the peppers.
I know, that might be ghost
I can see
peppers.
planting them around a tree because they're really nice looking.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's just like this is a sweet potato. Who would have known it'd be so pretty?
Well, you can't eat that though.
I don't know that you can't.
But the pepper plants that I'm talking about, you can eat them.
I don't know. I'll have to look. Sam says, Porch Settin favorite show. Glad to support you on Patreon. Well, thank you, Sam. He says, hope you both have a happy and healthy 2025.
Oh, we
Yes.
always do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I said, that's one of the things they always, you wish for money, you wish for a big house, you wish for a new car. But the one thing you need is your health.
Yeah, we don't wish for money much anymore. we give up on that idea. It doesn't work.
Ruth says, our dog Sweet Pea just come from the beauty parlor. She's allergic to water too. A pup cup cures all that.
A what?
A pup cup. I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, explain, Ruth. I don't know what a pup cup is. And God, we could really
He's
use...
so bad that I'll tell you what, I think it would actually be healthy for him. And I'm not a big advocate of drugs, but I know they got a pill that you can give animals and it calms them down a lot for, I don't know, things like a haircut or whatever. Maybe it's marijuana, I don't know. But I really think that for a bath and a haircut, he's a good advocate for it.
Yeah. Sweet Pea, that's a cute name. I really like that.
See, right now he's being really good, and it's really deceivious of how he can be. Usually it's just never ending. He wants something. But I have noticed here in the last week, though, for some reason, he just seems to be calmer. And he started doing something that he really has never done before, like when Sue's here. He'll stay with her for a while on the couch, and then he'll get up and he'll come in my room, and he'll jump in my lap and sit there. And he'll sleep there for a long time. I have to really make him get up sometimes.
Thank goodness. Because I love him to pieces, but 24 hours a day with him was a little much. I couldn't get anything done unless I had him with me. Even to come out here to the porch. I come out to water my flowers, he has to come, And so it was kind of nice that he would give me a break and go in there with Skip. I can't sweep the floor.
Well,
He wants to sweep with me.
that's a lot of dogs do that. Jack
Yeah.
done that whenever we had carpet, and Sue would get the electric sweeper out. To Jack, that was a toy. He would get. He was a bigger dog. He'd grab a hold of the sweeper and he could actually drag it around. And it was almost funny.
Sherry Barnes Stebbins says, Happy New Year from Linden. Well, Happy New Year to you, Sherry.
You say somebody from London?
Linden.
Oh. Who's the further? Hey, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you guys have a traditional dinner that you make on New Year's Day? We do. My mom, well, actually, started with my grandma, I think, on my mom's side. She always made boiled cabbage, I guess boiled cabbage and potatoes. Maybe she threw carrots or something in it. I don't remember. And then Mom did the same thing.
Guess what you're getting for dinner?
And Sue just carries it on. So I seen it in there, and actually I like it. You know, boiled cabbage and potatoes. She'll make a pot of it, and by the night, I guarantee you, before I go to bed, I'll probably eat the last bowl of it, and it'll be gone. But anyway, that's our New Year's Day dinner right there. Or a lot of people after is it after New Year's you got to wear like white pants or something?
Oh no, that's
white pants.
That's Labor Day. Yeah.
Oh,
you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day.
Why is that?
Don't ask. I don't know.
I've always wondered when we do these little traditions, why? Where'd that start?
Well, I don't know. Somebody that was prim and proper, I guess.
Like on the Amish, and I looked it up. I always wondered who designed those funny look. I'm gonna get a lot of comments here, but who designed the funny looking hat that the Amish women have to wear? What's the point of that? Well, I know.
I don't know.
Because years ago, the houses, they don't believe in electric or anything like that. It's heated with fireplaces and stuff like that. Ashes gets in the air, and those hats are on there to keep the ashes out of their hair.
Oh, well, how smart. Yeah, great idea.
Amish people, some of them have beards. Some men do not. I asked, why? What's the difference? You know why? I do. I'm fascinated by some of the dumbest stuff. The guys with the beards are the ones who preach. The ones that don't have a beard don't preach. But there's a section of Amish that, like German Baptists or something, it's different. The ones with the beard are married. The ones without the beard are single.
Wrestler says in Pennsylvania Dutch, New Year tradition is eat pork and sauerkraut.
Pork and sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, cabbage.
Oh, it is cabbage?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I used to make sauerkraut all the time. It's to bring you luck and usually clean out the digestive system.
I believe that.
Yeah. Well, and I said cabbage was the thing. You know, even if it's coleslaw, you know, we do cabbage and potatoes, and there's corned beef and cabbage. But cabbage was the thing that was supposed to bring you luck. No.
So it's not necessarily boiled cabbage and potatoes or whatever. It's just the idea of using cabbage.
Right.
Oh. What's that stuff you buy in that bag in there? I kind of like it. It comes with all the stuff to mix it.
What you've been eating?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, is
that cabbage?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I've been eating like one every night.
Yeah, they're good. I always have. I like.
Cleans out the system too.
Yeah.
Ask me.
Ruth Person said, "Well, if I was ever in snow at my age, my fear these days would be a fall in it." Yeah, that was. You know, that's what kind of pushed me down here. I fell in the snow. I fell on the ice and cracked open my head and had to have 7 stitches. And I just thought then, there's no reason for it. I got a house in Florida. So I come down here and Skippy followed me. No. Let's see. Oh, Keys, you like the shirt? Yeah. I needed something with sleeves because it was supposed to be a little chillier today, but it came out nice, really. It's I know it has to be in the 70s now. So let's see. Got lost. Pacer Girl says, Happy New Year. I'm glad you're on this morning. Well, you know, we thought about doing the Christmas show, but everybody's busy doing other things during Christmas.
Well, I figured everybody else is doing it anyway, so I don't want to do it.
And
That's how it is. Just put this in you guys' mind. This is how I work. If everybody else is doing it, I'm not going to.
yeah, unless you want to.
Unless I got something special. Here's something that I did think about doing because nobody else is doing it. I thought about taking a couple. Why did I put up the one WNL show we did at Christmas for the kids?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought about putting us on there live up in a corner where we could stop the video whenever we wanted to and talk about something, why we did this or why we done that. But we were busy wrapping gifts or something, I forget, and I just didn't do it.
Boo-boo, come here.
But all of you that watched that, though, I appreciate you watching. What is he tore up now?
He tore a vine over there. Well, you let him back there. Come here, Boo-boo. Here's your chewy.
Get over here.
Here's your chewy.
Come on. Come up here. Come up here. Here.
Yeah, okay. Rest of it, depending on the type of snow, shoveling can be very backbreaking and exhausting, especially when you are at retirement age. Yes, and I lost a brother from a heart attack because he was shoveling snow. And so I said, yeah, I'm just not keen on the idea. I'm kind of glad we don't have it here.
Most guys don't shovel snow anymore. Most guys don't. I never did. And when I was young, I did. But when I got to a certain age, I bought a snowblower. You still got to go out in the cold. You still got to push it around, that kind of stuff. But
I was going to say he had a snowblower.
Well, then it was cold air that got him.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't miss it. Overjoyed says, Happy New Year, everyone. Charlotte Como says, hello from Irwin, Pennsylvania. Hi, Skip and Sue. How many sunny days do you have in Florida? Well, this year has been kind of mind-blowing because I always told people we have like 18 days of winter, and that was our average. And when I'm talking about winter, I'm not talking about snow, but where it gets
What temperatures down here would you consider to be winter temperatures?
Well, and that's why I said I had to think
about that. You want to have a good
that.
laugh?
I had to think about that because, it was...
Here's what I say. If it's 50 degrees, that's considered to be winter here. Yeah. Because that means, it's a high. That means tonight's going to be 40s or 30s. And to these people here, that's winter.
Yeah.
And after a few years here, everybody acclimates. I do too. So I will tell you, when you walk outside and it's 30 degrees, for a while it feels pretty good. The air's crisp and clean. It kind of reminds you of fall. But then after you're out here for just a little while, the idea is, say, going for a walk, I'll do it tomorrow. It's too cold. You can prove that by going to the squares at night.
Yeah.
Go down to the squares at night when it's like 40 degrees out. They're half empty. Nobody goes down there.
Yeah, and they do shut them down, I think, at 35.
Oh, they do?
I think 35 or 40, I think they shut the squares down.
Well, probably the bands. They probably just refuse to play.
Well, no, I don't think that, it's kind of new rules. They didn't used to have that. Years ago, they just went on no matter what the weather was. And I think after that one big storm they had, they kind of changed the rules a little bit. So now they have a certain time that they close. But like I said, if the weather's bad, like I said, I don't think they let them play in between 35 and 40.
Yeah, years ago, she's right. What's he got now?
It's my bird.
Years ago, she's right. They had no rules at the square whatsoever. Now, that's when Spanish Springs was the only square there was.
Yeah.
Rain, sleet, it didn't make no difference. People would show up. They entertained. But as time went on, accidents do happen, and they've had to change the rules. Now I think if there's any kind of a lightning warning, the squares are shut down.
Yeah.
They don't want the band out there.
But other than that, they're 365 every year. They're every day. They're Christmas, New Year's, they're out there unless the weather changes.
I know, like on softball, they played softball here. Softball here is a big deal. They go to different areas of Florida to other retirement communities, and they have playoffs. And one year, it was hot. I don't know what the temperature was, but it was hot. And he suffered a heart attack or a heat stroke or something. Right after that, now they got a shutoff period. If a temperature gets to a certain point, no practice, no playing whatsoever.
Yeah.
You're done. So they change things as time goes on.
Yeah.
By the way, somebody in the newer area sent me an email saying, "Hey, we need a grocery store down here by Eastport. When are they going to build one?" First of all, let me say it in a nice way, how the hell would I know? I don't build none of this stuff. I'm just joking, but seriously, I don't build none of this stuff.
And Eastport is supposed to be done by the end of this year, by the last quarter of this year.
But I will say, just give it time. You think they're going to put you down there and give you no grocery stores? That's money in the developer's pocket. Well, hell yes, he's going to give you. He's going to give you more than one. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
You're going to get shopping centers down there, several. You're going to get gas stations down there, several.
And they do have I think I read they're getting like a mom and pop store in Middleton, which is pretty close.
Middleton looked like to me last time I went through there with Jose, there was a couple of restaurants there. One of them is by my favorite place. What's the name of the company that owns like every restaurant around here?
FMK.
FMK. It looked like it was almost ready to open. I mean, seriously, everything was there. The building was there. Matter of fact, when I was there, I think they had the restaurant a sign on the door saying that they were training. So it looks really close to being open.
Yeah. And then they got boosters down there. But Middleton has...
That's not in Middleton.
No. But like I said, they have two or threes going in there, plus, like I said, a mom and pop grocery of some kind. I think it's kind of like a handy-andy kind of quick.
By the way, speaking of boosters, on one of the news, maybe you guys didn't see it. It might have been on Patreon only. There was a report on the news about boosters being taken over by FMK and whatever, and I reported that, and I made a statement saying, oh, great, another FMK restaurant. It's like a monopoly around here. Well, when we were out for our Christmas dinner, Jose brought up a website from somewhere. I don't know what it was. And it showed on there that Boosters is not owned by FMK or even rented to FMK. It's owned by the developer. So somewhere in that report, I don't know who brought that report up, but somewhere in that report, that information that I even reported is wrong.
Yeah. Well, and I said, and when we went to Christmas dinner, we went to Palmer. And we found out when we got in there.
And Palmer's is sold.
That it's sold to the Suleiman family. So, and I think that branch, I don't know what the difference is, but that branch of the family is RGM. So they, it's still the Suleiman family, but it's a different branch of the family. And I think they have Red Sauce and Glenview and Lopez. But
I wanted to take the W&L crew out to a nice Christmas dinner. And everybody kept saying, where do you want to go? How about this place or that place? And really around here, if you want to go to one of the country clubs, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not going to worry about the price of stuff, the Palmer's has got them all beat. I mean, you go in there to have dinner. Every table's got a tablecloth on it. Some of them's got a candle or a rose on the table. I mean, they do it upright.
Yeah. And
the waiters are not just, are you guys ready to hand you a menu and then come back 2 minutes later? Are you ready to order now? It ain't that. The waiter is like a nicer restaurant where they explain some of like the special of the day is, here's how it's cooked. And it's just a nicer experience, but you're going to pay for it.
Gotcha.
There's a whole story about why everything at Palmer's is a little higher than everybody else. And it goes back to when Arnold Palmer was alive. I'll tell you that story someday.
Okay, and got to say hi to a couple of people.
What?
I have to say hi to a couple of people.
Say hi to a couple of people.
Yes. I'm way behind. I don't know where you're at, but I'm way behind.
Well, I'm here looking at right now. It says it's giving me a weather report.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where I am. I can't see this thing over here anyway because of the sun.
Okay. Amanda said that pup cups are the Dairy Queen ice cream for pups.
We think he has a dairy problem. Remember, because I was giving him ice cream and you said that he was getting sick at night?
Yeah. Happy New Year, Harold. William. And Wrestler said they used to give their greyhounds yogurt pup cups. Okay. It's a small cup at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. It's with dog-friendly whipped cream and a plain munchin on top. It's a very social day treat. Yeah, I've seen those at Starbucks. And used to be they just give you a little cup of whipped cream. And like I said, we every once in a while, we give him a little cup of whipped cream. But like I said, I think he has a problem with
you
dairy.
Do? I'd never give him any whipped cream.
Oh, well, I have. But that was a long time ago.
Oh.
Then I said, I think he has a problem with dairy. But now if it's dog friendly, it might not be the same thing.
What
So,
makes a whipped cream dog friendly?
it's not dairy.
What would you make whipped cream out of?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember all that stuff, but you know, I learned it a long time ago, but I just don't remember it now. But like, it's just like I don't drink regular milk. I don't drink cow milk.
I'm beginning to think that our world is turning into a zoo.
Laura says she bought dog ice cream for Josie and she didn't like it. Yeah, well, Buddy liked it okay, but like I
Like
said,
what?
it just seemed to not agree with him, and it might have been he was just young.
What?
The whipped cream.
I never gave him any whipped cream.
No. Okay, I did. But Sailor Dude says hello from Stonecrest. Happy New Year. And they said they make black-eyed peas on this day. William says ribs and sauerkraut. Sailor Dude says some dandy
What does
started
he eat? What's his dinner?
Black-eyed peas.
And sauerkraut?
No, just black-eyed peas is what he said.
You said something about
William says they do ribs and sauerkraut.
ribs and sauerkraut?
Yeah.
Sauerkraut is something my grandma used to make, and then she would can it in jars. And I think that's what I don't eat very much sauerkraut like on a hot dog. I used to like sauerkraut on a hot dog, but I guess I comparing the sauerkraut like you would buy at a store compared to what my grandma's was because she made it, and the stuff at the store to me seems too sour. I mean, to the point where you bite the hot dog and you're like, man, I think you ought to get used to it. My grandma's wasn't like that. It was sour, but it wasn't that
She
sour.
probably made her own. Because I said we used to make our own.
That's what I say. She made her own,
Yeah.
and so it wasn't that bad. I think that's like fruitcake. I think the reason why I can't stand. By the way, don't nobody send me any, Jerry. Don't you send me any. Grandma made fruitcake. It was around like a butt cake.
Yeah.
And she made it, and we'd take it out, and I can remember that. And it's not like that fruitcake you get at the store.
Yeah.
I think that stuff at the store, you could stack it on top of one another and build a house.
While we're at it, I want to thank everybody for the lovely cards and the gift cards and the candy and the cookie and all the wonderful stuff that we got from y'all. And just as I said, this last one was a peach. Let me tell you, Lexi and Darren in Ohio sent us a bottle of Frisch's tartar sauce because they know we're crazy about Frisch's, and they did have some bad news. They thought that the whole chain may shut down because of bad management eventually, but I'm hoping not, because that one that we'd like to stop at on the way to Indiana, I said that was kind of the last of the big ones we knew about, because Indiana didn't have
It's
many
in
more.
Georgetown.
But
Georgetown, Kentucky.
Georgetown, Kentucky. Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you so much, guys, because like I said, that's something that's going to really hit the spot, I think. Because you can use that on, I mean, tartar sauce for fish, but you can use it on anything. And I think it's either that or the, what is that dressing? There's a certain kind of dressing I can't think of.
It's not dressing. You keep telling me that. Like I've never had this dressing. I know what it tastes like. And that sauce they put on their hamburgers is not that dressing.
Okay.
It's just like we went to California. It was called Big Boy. It was called Bob's Big Boy. And we went in there and ate. And I looked at Sue, and I told her, I said, this ain't the original sauce. She said, how can you tell? It's red. Remember that?
Yeah.
Frisch's Big Boy's sauce is not red.
No.
And I asked the lady, I said, is this the original sauce? Or do I have to ask for the original sauce? She said, it's the original sauce. And as soon as she brought it to me, because I'm talking to a kid that's probably 18 years old.
Oh, but anyhow, Jerry says, are the Canadians down across the street? Yes, Jerry, they're here.
Yeah, they're over there.
And the kids are here, and that's what Skip was talking about. They were sunbathing.
Yeah,
they're on the driveway.
Yeah, it's like 68 degrees out here, and they're running around in string bikinis.
Oh, okay. Amanda says there's a large Amish community around them, and I said I can remember when we went up there. We went up to visit Wrestler, and we went to this farm market. There was an Amish farm market, and this was like in September. I mean, it was later in the year.
I was looking for the Amish Mafia.
Yeah, it was later in the year, but they still had the best tomatoes I mean, and we got tons of them, and I think we ate them before we left the parking lot.
Yeah, within a day or two, they were all gone.
Yeah.
We sucked them right down.
Because tomatoes grown in dirt, they have a different taste. They
you
do.
People from the north, you know what we're talking about. People born and raised here in Florida, if they haven't traveled, they think these tomatoes is good. They're not very good. None of them are.
Yeah, well,
Some are better than others, but none of them are very good.
Kathy being the 603 says, I don't do a special dinner for New Year's Day. It's usually leftover Chinese food from the night before.
That's cool. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But you seen what my Christmas dinner was. You're a Discord member, I think. Sue says, what do you want for a Christmas dinner? You know, everybody probably has the same old shit that they have on Thanksgiving, and I've had it for 73 years. I'm just sick of it. I said, and I was really kind of joking when I said it. She was going to the store. She said, what do you want for dinner? And I said, I want a New York strip and a lobster tail, knowing that she's not going to do that. Well, next thing I know, she's gone. So she came home, she never said anything. So next day I went out in the refrigerator out in the garage, and I was looking in there, and there my steak and lobster tail was. So I thought, well, hell, looky here.
Well, that's why I asked you. Florence Keenan says, Happy New Year, Skip and Stu, from Florence and Denise. Florence and Dennis. We have always had Chinese food for New Year's Day dinner. It is a day of rest after all of the holiday cooking and baking. That would make sense, yeah.
Have you guys gained any weight? I have. I try to kind of, not really, but kind of try to keep it leveled. And I've been 230 for the longest time, down from 245. And I tried to stay there. And I told her, at 230, I don't feel too bad. I went to the doctor. She said my blood pressure stuff was normal. And so I thought, I'll keep it here at 230. Well, I go in there every day and I weigh myself. And for the last 3 days, I went to high as 234. And then the other day I was 233. And then today I weighed myself and I was 232. So like, damn, I feel like I'm on a diet again.
Everybody kind of feels that way. During the holidays, you eat stuff that you don't normally eat. And you're bound to gain a little bit. And unless we all do.
The only thing I eat is what you give me.
I know.
I haven't had any.
Oh, well, I did not give you ice cream. I seen you with a whole tub of ice cream last night.
There was a little bit left in the tub, and I was actually saving you work. Thinking I'll just eat it out of this tub instead of dirtying another dish.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, you eat what I fix. But
you know, my dad used to open up a can of pork and beans, and he loved to eat it right out of the can.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting.
I think so too.
But he did.
I thought that of canned spaghetti.
I can see Mom packing his lunch bucket sometimes if she's ever mad at him. She just throw a fork in there and a can of pork and beans, throw it in his lunch bucket and say, take it to work and eat it out of the can. Mom would do that.
KM says kielbasa and sauerkraut for us today during Rose Bowl. Sounds good. I love, I do love sauerkraut. And we always did it with hot dogs. But the kielbasa, that's good too. And I buy the turkey kind. I know. It is not the same, but it's good for me.
What?
The turkey.
Turkey what?
Sausage. Kielbasa. Sausage, you know what?
Turkey sausage. Jesus Christ.
You've been eating it for 30 years and haven't complained.
No, not.
I
haven't had what you call a kielbasa. I ain't had one of them in years. Years.
I've fixed it here many times.
I've never had one.
Well, I fry it.
If I was going to have one, it'd be at a state fair somewhere.
I said I fry it.
Well, that's disgusting too.
Oh, let's see. Amanda says, got both of our Aussies from them. I've seen the ladies wear the hats in their carriages or in stores, never at home. Just my observation. Laura says in Spain the tradition is to eat 7 grapes at midnight on New Year's Eve.
I did.
I read that.
Yeah, I read that on the internet last night too about 7 grapes. Something about 7 grapes. I thought, that's kind of a weird tradition. I wonder how that got started.
I don't know.
And why 7?
I don't know.
It's got something to do with the Bible because the Bible is written on the numbers of 7. 7 days.
Cigar Guy says hog jowl and black-eyed peas for New Year's Day. All the best for the New Year's.
You like black-eyed peas? I never liked black-eyed peas.
They're okay. Just like regular peas. They're okay. Oh, yeah. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. So we know you're here. And Jerry wants to know how was the steak and lobster tail.
How did I cook it?
How was it?
Well, I cooked mine.
He cooked it himself.
Yeah, I did it myself. And the way I always do it, first of all, you got to get a good steak. And she knows where to get them now. you got to watch some of these stores down here because remember, we're in southern Florida. They raise a lot of Brahma down here, and they breed the Brahma bull with regular cows, so you get a Brahma mix. Well, Brahma meat is kind of stringy because they eat anything. They eat cactus, they eat the bark off a tree, and that's why they're here, because they take the heat. And I don't like that meat. So they started advertising Black Angus. You know, the truth of it is, if it's Black Angus or White Angus, you'll never know the difference anyway. Um, so she gets these steaks and bring them home, and the first thing I do is I usually trim the fat around the outer edges, not all of it, because that's really where the flavor's that's in the fat. And I'll take a knife because we don't have any other kind of beater, and I'll stab the crap out of this thing. I'll put like 50 holes on one side and 50 holes on the other side, and then I take a Ziploc bag, and usually I dump a beer in there, but I didn't want to waste my beer this time, so I dumped a Coke in there. And then I put the steak in that bag, zip it up, and them holes allows that Coke to get in the middle. And if you let it sit for about an hour, at least an hour, better to be overnight. There's something in Coke. I read about it and I don't remember what it was, but there's a chemical in Coke that actually breaks down meat. And that's why the doctors will tell you don't drink Coke, because it'll actually rot your inside of your stomach out, your lining. So I put it in there, and that tenderizes the meat a lot. And then I usually will sear it in the pan in clarified butter on both sides, and don't forget the edges. If you just do it on this side and then flip it over, that's useless, because all the juice now can escape out to the edges, out the sides. So you have to kind of go around and sear all that, and then I put it in the oven until I get it to about medium well. That's where I like it, really. And then as far as the lobster goes, you got to cut it down the back. You got to clean, if it's got the digestive tract in it, you got to take that out. Most of them don't have it. And then you break the shell open, you get a hold of the meat on the front, pull it out to the back, don't take it off, and then put that meat on top of the shell. And then you can put butter on it, and then a little bit of paprika on it, and whatever flavorings you like, garlic, salt, all that kind of stuff. 350 in the oven for about, really not very long either. 5 minutes, 7 minutes. When the shell turns red, take it out. It's done. And that's really about all there is to it. The hardest part is timing, because you got to cook the steak for a while. So you got to go, it's like, am I getting close to, you don't know. So when do I put the lobster tail in there? And then the baked potato, she already had that done.
Yeah.
So, then it's just a matter of just, let's eat.
Sue Sebastian says, Happy New Year. Love your channel. Hi, Sue. How are you? Like I said, we're just kind of taking it easy today. This is our way of bringing in the new year. It's just being lazy and talking to y'all. And I hope y'all had some good. I know a lot of you went to party last night, and there's other people stayed in their jammies. So everybody, it's a new year for everybody, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, there he is.
When did you let him go?
Well, no, it was on my foot. I didn't even feel it. Come on, what are you doing? Quit eating that stuff.
Oh, yeah, Buddy's a pill sometimes. So, but he doesn't like to sit still yet. Like I said, he's still got a lot of puppy in him.
Come here. Get up here and sit down. Get up here and sit down.
Usually he'll sit and eat his chewy and lay on the rug down here, and you don't even know he's here. But he's kind of antsy today for some reason.
Do you want that? You want that down here?
Laura, they're not actually giving a date as to when Eastport's going to open. They're just saying it's going to be sometime in the fourth quarter, so it's near the end of next year or this year. Yeah, I forget. This is 2025. So near the end of this year, they'll be opening, and they have so many things going in down there. And like what you can see now, you really can't see a whole lot other than the building that they're doing. But I can't wait to see what it looks like, because it just seems like it's going to be really, really nice. Overjoyed want to know what the object with the big S on it. It's a big Christmas bulb, and it's just for looks. And I put it out every Christmas. I just haven't put it in yet. And I changed the flowers out because my Christmas flowers were getting a little scraggly looking. And I had a really beautiful one too that the neighbor gave me. But like I said, the flowers are starting to fade out, and so I changed it out to this. But But yeah, I bought that I think at Pier 1 before they closed. And I said I've always liked it. I thought it was really, really pretty. And we're Skip and Sue, and we're the Smiths, so the S is pretty explainable.
Is Judy home now?
I think so. Oh, that Judy?
Yeah.
I seen her the other day, and she had been gone, and then I haven't seen her since. So she may have went
It's hard
on.
to keep track of her when she's here and when she's not here.
Well, she usually sends me a message and lets me know.
I like to know when she's home.
Okay. Well, I said she was home.
Because when she's gone, especially this time of year, you never know who pulling in her driveway.
Well, I said she keeps me informed. She
just so everybody here knows, the Romanians are back. So beware. Huh?
She's changed cleaning service. That other lady retired, so she told me, not.
What kind of car do they drive?
It's 2 or 3 ladies, and they come in a SUV, a gray SUV. But she wanted to let me know, that because they come when she's not here. But I think she's here. She probably just partied last night. Laura says, I think I saw on another YouTube channel there will be grocery stores at both Middleton and Eastport. I figure they will. Yeah, because it looks like they're trying to put everything in there. And I said, if not at first, it will be there eventually.
They will.
It'll just be like our town squares, There's not one in Brownwood.
So when people start buying houses right away, they want stuff done right now. Where's my store? They did the same thing around what's that shopping center down there from the largest rec center here? Magnolia. People was coming all over the place about getting a shopping center. It takes time.
Yeah. But like I said, it may, the store might not come in right away, but they will. I said, like Brownwood, we have several around us.
Can't get out of the car. Is that her? No, that's not her.
No, that's Thelma's sister.
Oh, okay.
They're both in their 90s. No, Thelma isn't yet.
No, she's not in her 90s.
Her sister is. So.
Her sister might be.
She broke her hip.
Well, first I thought it might have been.
No, I said she.
Her.
I said she broke her hip, and so Thelma usually walks with her back and forth here, so every once in a while.
That's not good when you're 90 years old and you break a hip.
Well, she's doing great, the both of them, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I hope I get that far.
It's not an easy repair.
Yeah. Jerry Bird says, fresh ham and sauerkraut, Newsday. New Year's Eve, lentil soup, herring and slug of beer, German background. Why, yes.
What's a lentil?
It's a bean. Pea.
My mom used to make Dad, because Dad liked it. And I don't know what kind of bean, but I'll say ham and bean soup. But it was this way she made it. It's just a big pot. Remember, we lived on a farm. We butchered our own hogs and stuff. And she put these beans in there. They would soak for the longest time. Then she put these beans in that pot and, I don't know, onions and stuff, and let them soak like crazy, and or boil like crazy. But then the ham was on a bone. She just stuck the whole thing in there.
Well, and yeah, that's used to, because beans were kind of a last minute thing when you were out of everything else.
I think the thing was, whatever marrow was in that bone would be flavoring for the ham.
There's always pieces of ham on the bone.
I know. No, she put the whole thing in there.
Well, that's what I said. You use every bit.
I think the idea was the marrow in the bone added flavoring to the beans, and then if you wanted ham, then you had to whack off a piece and put it in your blood. Yeah. Oh, and she made cornbread, homemade cornbread.
Oh yeah, always cornbread.
Of which she made what I found out later in life. She made a sweet cornbread because it was yellow. The white cornbread is not sweet, but I don't know what it is. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Laura Wrestler says, Laura, they are waiting for Skip to give them the go-ahead and open Eastport. Few people know this, but Skip is actually the person who makes all those decisions. That's how he's always in the know.
I do. I'm sworn to secrecy, though, and a lot of that stuff.
Oh.
I'm not allowed to tell you about it.
Okay. There's days when you don't remember his name.
I'm the mole here. They send me out in public all the time to get people's reactions and stuff.
Oh, Joyce, it seems like FMK are the only restaurant owners that make in the TV. I wonder why, them or the developers. No, well, actually,
I'll tell you one thing.
Too.
As far as the developer, I see on the developer side of this, FMK pays their rent, And I mean, that's all he cares about. How the food and all that. Developer has nothing to do with that. He probably don't give a rat's ass about any of that. But FMK's been around a long time. They've got a lot of stuff here, and they pay their rent.
But it's half and half, because FMK has half of the restaurants. The Suleiman family has the other half.
Yeah, and they pay
And the
their
reason
rent.
that they've stayed here is because each one of them has been leased out at times. And like I said, the owners, just, I don't know if it was investment or what, but they've got tired of it, let things go, and things went downhill. Well, with FMK, when they take it over, it's been good. Suleiman family, when they take it over, it's been good. Now, 10 years down the road, it may change. But right now, they have done enough to these restaurants, restoring them and bringing in new food and teaching their help to actually be customer friendly, which that's really important, but a lot of them don't. I mean, if you've been to any of the other restaurants and the person standing there say, "What do you want?" instead of asking you,
Yeah, I've
for
never
your
been to a
order.
restaurant around here that's ever done that to me. So I don't really know where that comes from.
Well, I know how bad Havana got, and I used to love Havana.
My only problem with Havana was the food,
Well, it
not
got
the service. Service is always good. That's a good question. Should you tip a waiter, no matter what kind of a good service he gives you, if the food is shit? I say no, and I'll tell you why. I had a friend that owned a restaurant, and he told all of his servers, "You're the last one that sees that food before you give it to the customer. If you see something wrong, you bring it to the chef's attention right away before it goes out there. So if they're bringing you crap food, that means that he's not doing his proper job."
But like I said, it wasn't just that. The places had went downhill. They were dirty. I seen cockroaches everywhere, and and I quit going there.
Where at?
But then it Havana,
Oh, really?
and then it changed hands. It changed hands a couple times, but then when the Suleiman family got it, I mean, you can't hardly find a parking place there every day. So they know their business. They know what they're doing. The customer service is superb.
Havana has probably some of the worst bad parking
Yeah,
videos of anywhere. I swear to God.
But
It's busy, yes, but they've got a huge parking lot. People just don't want to walk. And if they can't walk, for physical reasons, then I can understand going up to the front door and letting people out and then go park your car, but they don't do that. They park by the front door and just leave it there. Next thing you know, a guy comes up, parks behind them, another guy parks behind them, and then it's like one-way traffic through there, and it's just a problem.
Yeah, but a little bit at a time, the country clubs are getting bought out by either FMK or Suleiman, and they're making big deals out of them. I mean, they're making the food better, the prices are higher, and a lot of people had a problem with that, but they're making it better.
They
And
do have good food. I've got one problem with FMK. They do everything there like it's a cafeteria style, and I don't like it. Every one of their restaurants does it. I don't care what restaurant it is. And by that I mean, do you ever notice when you go to Cracker Barrel that when you order your food, you call it service, but the food comes to you really quick? The only thing that they really have to cook there are eggs. That's it. And if you get scrambled eggs, they don't even cook them. And that's what Suleiman is. You can order something there, and I mean, within 2 or 3 minutes, they're bringing the food to your table. The other was, I went down to Bluefield when they opened up.
that's FMK. That's not Suleiman.
What is it? Oh, yeah, FMK. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, FMK.
Yeah.
But
and I have noticed that the more if the owner's in there, they seem to do a lot better.
how do you know if the owner's in there?
Well, I know who he is.
You seen him?
Yes.
So it's just one guy takes care of all this?
Yeah, he's the head of it, but he has managers in all.
I figured there'd be like a
places.
corporate office somewhere, and he has managers that he's.
Well, he's got managers in all of them, but he shows up a lot.
Okay.
And I said, and he is, but like he's getting so many now, I don't think he can spend the time doing that as what he used to. And I've noticed that, when he's not there, things go downhill. So, but
Well,
but
I
yeah,
got nothing against FMK's food. Every time I've ate at any of his restaurants, the food's been fine.
Yeah.
It's just been lukewarm when it comes to my table, and I'm not a fan of that at all.
Yeah.
I want my food. I want steam come rolling off of it.
yeah. A little bitty. Okay.
What do you think the odds are Buddy would be that calm in a golf cart?
Eventually he will. Everybody tells me that eventually
I don't care what
he will.
everybody tells you. They all tell you open up the window, he won't do this, or put him in a basket, he won't do that. And they've been wrong on every one of them.
He's good now.
After a year?
Well, like I said, as he gets older, he will be. Everybody tells me he's settled down when he gets older. Puppies are always like that.
We all settle down when we get older. Look at me.
I haven't got you trained yet. But anyhow, yeah, lactose free. That's the for the popsicles. You want to get the lactose free?
Popsicle?
Yeah.
What's a popsicle?
Good Lord, where have you been?
Well, if it's anything like a popsicle, there ain't no milk in that at all.
Pup cup. Pup cup.
I don't know what that is.
Well, like I said, you do ice cream, only it's not dairy. It's lactose free.
People eat weird stuff anymore. Yeah. Just weird.
Living in the Villages, Florida. It says, hey, Skip and Sue, Tyler from Middleton here. Happy New Year. Beautiful day here. I passed my real estate class and go to take the state exam next week. Victory Sports Grill from FMK will be open soon. There you go, Victory Sports Grill. Well, congratulations, Tyler. That's wonderful. And like I said, you're well on your way to a good career.
Just so you guys know, if you're looking to do something down here to make a few extra bucks, Ira's been trying to get me to do it for the longest time, but I just told him I'm not interested in it. That if you go in and I don't think you apply for a real estate license, but there's something you have to take a test and you pass it. And once you get that, and apparently it's Florida law, that's the only way and probably for MLS listings only, that if I send somebody to Ira, like a referral, and if that person buys a house off of Ira, Florida has to pay me a percentage of whatever that sale is, just because I referred it to him. And I thought about doing that a time or two, and then I got thinking, I don't really want to get into that, because I just know how sales are. They'll start asking me a bunch of stuff that I know nothing about. They'll be calling me in the middle of the night. Who do I send the money to? And I'll get frustrated. So I just decided that.
Not exactly a people person.
Yeah, I am, but I'm not a salesperson at all. I don't have the patience. I could not be a car dealership. And I'm trying to think of what commercial I watched where it was about the mafia. And the mafia owned a car dealership. And they put a mafia guy in the car dealership to keep an eye on things to make sure they got their cut. And they made the mafia guy a car salesman. People was coming in and looking at a car, and he was going around it, showing them the car, and it took a while to show them everything and test driving it and all that kind of stuff. So at the end, he goes, "So what do you think? He says, want me to go ahead and draw the papers up for you now?" And the lady says, "Nah." So I think I'll go home and think about it. And he says, "What? After all this time, what's there to think about?" That'd be me.
Okay. William says, I make my own sauerkraut. It takes 10 to 14 days. Yeah, I remember it's been a long time. I used to make it with my mom, and she'd have these big crocks. And I said, we'd fill it full of cabbage and salt. And she had a big ceramic lid that went on it, and then she put a brick on top of that. And I said, you just let it sit and kind of, I forget what she called it, fermenting. So
actually, I think it technically it's rottening.
Yeah, that's what fermenting is. Yeah, I think it's kind of like booze,
No, it ain't kind of like booze.
Okay.
Because I'd like it.
Oh, thank you, David. I like it too.
Like I said, I like my grandma's. It's nothing I could eat every day, but when we went up there for, I don't even remember what, as kids, we would have hot dogs and sauerkraut, and I remember eating that. And when I taste the stuff you get at the store, it's like, oh man, it just doesn't smell right to me. It tastes way too tart, way too sour.
Well, it's like that, I think, with all homemade stuff. They never can get it quite right to put it in the can.
But that's a problem down here, just like pizza. We're looking for that pizza that don't exist down here.
Yeah, but
it ain't just us. We met some people the other day. Who'd we meet? I'm terrible about this. And I asked him about the pizza. I said, have you found your pizza yet? And he says, no. He's not going to find that pizza. You know it and I know it.
Oh, yeah. Carl Dean says, hi from North Carolina. Coming soon to the Villages. We have black-eyed peas, cornbread, and ham with fixins. Sounds good.
William says, popsicles are made from whipped cat milk.
No.
Who milks that cat there, William?
William. Okay. Darn, already sent Skip and Sue an assortment of 12 different types of fruitcake. They are scheduled to arrive tomorrow morning.
Oh, God, don't. I'm going to give them away. I swear to God, I am.
Oh, my gosh, yes. But I remember, I think it was Deb. I think Deb really liked fruitcakes.
Some
Or
people
maybe it
do.
was her Skip, but
Some
one of
people
them.
do, but I just can't. When I think in my head when I'm eating this, I compare everything to what I remember in the past, and they just don't. It just doesn't cut it for me.
Yeah. Cynthia says, Sue, I believe you're thinking of Thousand Island dressing. Yes, Cynthia, and I was told at one time that that's what they used on the big boy was Thousand Island dressing.
Nah,
And
I don't think so.
he keeps saying no. I couldn't tell you because I never used Thousand Island
You
dressing.
never even eat the hamburgers. How would you know?
Well, but I know what you're talking about, though. But I was told at one time that's what they did use. And I said, with them sending us the tartar sauce, I'm wondering if that's what they use, and we just didn't know the difference.
Guy says, speaking of Romanians, what about the Romanians? Every year about this time of year, I don't know where they come from, but just yesterday they caught 2 more Romanians. They're illegal. They were women, and they walked out of a store carrying something like $750 worth of, they call it by name, but what boils down to baby formula. I'm going to assume Walmart. I don't really remember. Every year, there's always Romanians that go through the villages, knocking on doors. They look for obvious things to do, like your house needs painted or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll paint it for $50. They do these things.
Talking about the gypsies, yeah.
We call them gypsy, but they're Romanian. Every year, these Romanians come here. They're in the paper every year about this time of year. 2 weeks ago, they arrested one that was in a Walmart parking lot. She had a violin in the middle of the Walmart parking lot, playing the violin really, really loud. I guess it had a speaker or something there, too. I don't know. And Walmart asked her to leave. She said she didn't have to. You know the stories. So the police come out there. So what does she do? She picked up her stuff. She runs across the street to a McDonald's and put it up in their parking lot. These are the Romanians. They just come down here, and one of them, I think it was last year, there was one over here at the Colony Shopping Plaza. Remember, she had the baby and was begging for money, and people started calling the police on her saying she's got this baby out in the middle of the parking lot begging for money, and so you have to beware of these Romanians every year about this time of year. I'm not picking on Romanian people. I'm just simply saying that's a fact. Go to villagesnews.com right now and you'll see it in there.
Cheryl Perry says, Happy New Year, Skip and Sue. Raining and raw here in Massachusetts. Well, I'm glad you're there and I'm not.
Raining where?
Massachusetts. In Massachusetts.
I know Massachusetts.
It said Massachusetts.
What's the town?
She didn't say.
Oh.
Let's see. Dean's of Detecting says, waiting on snow here in the Carolinas.
Carolina snow? Oh, that's right. The cold fronts come in.
Yeah, and they have mountains.
Yeah. They're probably in the mountains up there somewhere.
Yeah. Overjoyed says Florida tomatoes have no flavor. No, Overjoyed, because they're grown in sand. Yeah. Everything around here is sand. And so you really don't know what the difference in the flavor is unless you've had one that's grown in good dirt.
Yeah, but all these people here that are vegans and stuff and want to eat healthy food and healthy stuff with no this and no that, they eat this tomatoes down here to put it in their healthy salad that has to have tons of chemicals pumped in the sand to get them to grow. That's the hypocrisy here.
Okay. I don't know what that has to do with vegan, but okay.
Well, I'm just talking about people always eat what they eat because they think it's healthy. And the hypocrisy is half of what you eat ain't no more healthier than if you just eat regular stuff.
No, and I know, they say it's bad this year, next year it's different.
Say what now?
I said, they say it's bad this year.
What's bad?
Anything.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah, and then next year they change.
In your lifetime, how many times has things caused cancer and then disappeared and something else caused cancer? It never ends.
Yeah. Overjoy says bagels and, he said crust sucks too. I don't know what that is.
I don't even know where you're at. I can't even see this. I see one thing. Marcia.
Okay.
Isn't that odd?
Over yum. Dean's of Detecting says over yum. Okay. Laura says Iowa tomatoes usually ready about middle of July. My dad used to make a lot of homemade tomato juice. Yes, Laura. Same here. We grew a lot of tomatoes. I made juice. I made relish. I made spaghetti sauce.
I like yellow tomatoes a lot. And she would can yellow tomato juice. You can't even go to the store and buy that.
Yeah. It's hard to find. There's one vendor up here at the market, farmer's market, that has yellow tomatoes, and they don't have them except in the middle of summer. they have them because they don't have them all the time. They have tomatoes all
You
year.
might say, well, why would you have yellow tomato juice? Well, let me tell you. I usually have heartburn. That was terrible when I was working. I found that for some reason, yellow tomato juice didn't bother me. So she always made vegetable soup because everything in the vegetable soup came out of our garden anyway. And she started making it with yellow tomato juice. Not only did it do away with my heartburn eating it that way, it's actually pretty to look at. Yellow tomato juice and all that stuff in there.
Yeah. But they don't have, the yellow tomatoes don't have the acid in them that the red tomatoes do. So that's why it was so much easier on his stomach. And the pizza guy told me that. The guy we used to get our pizzas from, and his tomato sauce never bothered his stomach.
No.
And so I asked him, what is it that you put in your tomato sauce? And he had a secret ingredient, and that was the anise. But he said the reason that the tomato sauce didn't bother him is because he used yellow tomatoes. And so I tried it, and it worked. So
Rosemary says cows eat grass, so that makes them vegan, right? Absolutely.
Yep. Rester says we also used to make our own sauerkraut. I have 2 videos on 2 different methods. Older videos, so you have to hunt for them, but they are there. I look lots younger for some reason. Yes. And I said I made it when I was a kid with my mom, and I said she had all these crocks on the back porch, and that's what she made with them, was sauerkraut.
I think they still do it that way, except commercials have bigger pots.
Yeah. Oh, and Dean's of Detective says, love our fried green tomatoes. Yes. Like I've tried out fried green tomatoes in just practically every restaurant that I've found them in.
Yeah, most of them aren't that good. They're all kind of mushy. They overcook them because they slice the tomatoes too thin. The best place we ever got them, I still think it is down there.
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
Yeah, Fort Myers.
God, those were good.
But I got to tell you, Ski Beach makes a pretty decent fried green tomato. And I was really, really surprised by that. But yeah, theirs is.
Is that where I had my birthday party? Was at Ski Beach?
Yep.
How come I didn't get any green tomatoes then?
Well, I don't know.
I didn't know they had any.
What was on the menu?
I don't read the menu. You do the same thing. You order the same thing, no matter where we go.
Well,
I think I'll have that chimichanga, or whatever it is you get.
Jerry wants to know when you're finally going to take the RV out of the storage and go on a trip.
I don't know, thinking about maybe around April. Either that or I'm just going to sell it because it just sits around too much. I don't want it sitting around.
Chubby Lee Young wants to know, I wonder how tall Skip is.
I'm 7'3".
Oh, my. Sean Paul says ravioli out of the can. Yeah. Yeah, Skip used to eat the spaghetti out of the can. Oh, it would just give me chills.
Hey, look, when you drive around this whole country in a semi-truck back in the day, the newer trucks are different. We didn't have 12-volt refrigerators back then. We didn't have a 12-volt coffee pot that would plug in a 12-volt. You didn't have any of that. So, the idea of being somewhere and being able to have a little bite to eat, because I might be picking up apples out in the middle of nowhere land up around Seattle, Washington somewhere, and the nearest place to get a bite to eat is 50 miles away, and you're hungry because you're going to be in that field all day, and they don't provide food. You got to eat something. And so sometimes stuff out of a can is just all you had. That's when, those of you that even know, that's when a brilliant guy, and I think they're still around, but you just can't hardly find them, he invented a thing called heater meal, Heater, heater meals. And they specifically were targeting truck stops. And what made them great was they're like a big TV dinner, but a little bit better, was there was a magnesium thing or something in the middle, and it even came with a little thing of water. And you just poured that water over that magnesium, slid it back in a cardboard box, waited 20 minutes, and that magnesium heated up, and it heated that whole meal up. So you could sit in your truck and have a hot meal.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a lot of that kind of stuff that you wouldn't know about if you don't frequent the truck stops. But yeah, I was kind of surprised they had coffee pots that would plug into your cigarette lighter, TVs.
Eventually they came out with that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff I didn't know about until I went into a truck stop.
Here's the thing about the TVs back then. It's almost comical if you think about it. You got this little TV that plugs into a cigarette lighter, plugged back in the bunk. You think, well, I'm going to go back there and I'm going to lay in bed and I'm going to watch a little TV and take a nap. You get your TV set up, and it's got this one long rabbit ear type antenna on it, and you're back there twirling this thing, trying to, and you don't know what the channels are. You don't have channel search. You just, well, I'll go to this channel and try this. It is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, to be the young is asking overjoyed, if you buy tomatoes from Walmart or Aldi's, how do I know if those were grown in Florida or if they were shipped from up north? I can tell you. I said, because, people laugh at me. I can smell the dirt. I said, when I go to the farmer's market, I smell those tomatoes. I want the ones that's grown in dirt, not in sand. There's no smell to the sand.
Well, when I go to the grocery store, I see old women doing that all the time, not just tomatoes.
Yeah.
They'll pick up a cantaloupe, and they always smell right where the stem's at.
Yeah, you can smell the dirt. And the best tomato I ever had was Tennessee tomatoes. And I said, you'll see a lot of the vendors advertise Tennessee tomatoes, but they're not. And I said, I can tell. So, but I said,
Dad would always pick his own watermelon out because Mom said she didn't know how to do it, and it had something to do with he would knock on it. And I've tried that even to this day. I don't see the difference when I knock on it. I mean, I don't know what I'm knocking for.
William says, drive through Sevierville, Tennessee, and you will smell the bush bean factory. It makes you hungry. Yes, it sure does. Let's see. K-Dog, to skip with you, turkey and sausage should not be included in the same sentence.
Huh? I can't see.
Turkey and sausage should not be included in the same sentence.
No. Shit, Lord. I just don't get any of this, man. I mean, if people can eat what they want. But it's getting to the point in a lot of places. Okay, here's one: salt. Salt in things you buy, like potato chips or pretzels or anything like that. And you go to these in a retirement community like this because everybody apparently has high blood pressure or something. And you go in there, and that's all they have on their shelves: low salt, no salt, no salt, low salt. I want some goddamn salt. Give me some pretzels that's got salt on them because there's supposed to be salt on a pretzel, and you can't hardly find this stuff.
Yeah. And, yeah.
So that's what I mean when I said a while ago that they have a tendency to force this stuff on you. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Okay. Wrestler says, Skip, stop talking about your Angus. YouTube doesn't like that.
Angus.
I don't know.
Really? Well, what is it about? Well, YouTube's got some key words, and I know what some of them are. Like, bang, bang, bang. You can't say that word.
Yeah.
They will.
Oh, there was a big upheaval when Beyonce, when she did her thing the other day at the football game at the end of her program, and she did the finger gun. And I said there was such an uproar about it.
See, you just said the word. You can't say that word. On here we might get by with it, but on the video you got to learn things you just don't say. You said the G word.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, that's everybody was up in the air about it, and I'm thinking,
because if you want to get any money from the commercials that YouTube's going to put on this when I open it up, those words can't be there. They look for them.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, they'll still put the commercial on there. You just won't get any of that.
Senator Barker says, do the roundabouts go clockwise on January 1st?
God, don't start that rumor.
Oh, my. I remember you, Senator Barker. I've seen some of your videos. K-Dog says it's the acidity and Coke that breaks down the fat in the steak. Yes.
It does a good job.
Yeah.
Here's something I was told, though, from another YouTuber. He told me, he said he's tried all kinds of ways of cooking steaks and whatever. He says he had a friend that got a job at Texas Longhorn. He says, and I love Texas Longhorn steaks. He said, and I asked him, what do they do to their steaks back there that makes them taste so good? Just to grill, whatever? He says, no. He said, because we can't take all day to cook everybody's steak from scratch. He said, we have different temperatures of water. And he said, this water is at a certain temperature to keep a steak at, say, medium rare. This water is at a temperature to keep them at medium rare. And all that. So that way the steaks are already done. They've been cooked in hot water. So all they got to do is take them out and on the plate and out the door. He said, I tried that when I got home. I tried that with one of my steaks with hot water. He said, I can't go back. He said, it's amazing the difference it makes. So I'm trying that.
Yeah. Well, Williams has put sliced lemon under the lobster meat in the shell.
I didn't put any lemon in there, but yeah, you're right. That you flavor it up with whatever you want. I trying to think what I did. I put clarified butter on top of it, and I used a little paprika, garlic salt. Truth is, I think that's all I've done. I have to think about it. I think that's really all I've done. I usually just try to use what's in there. Because it just didn't take very long. Give me 3 bites and I'm done with the tail. But the big thing is the butter to dip it in. That, to me, I think that's the key ingredient. You got to have butter to dip it in.
Yeah, and when fresh markets where I get them, and I said usually when they have a sale on the lobster tails, they usually have a sale on 2. You get 2
I'll
at a
eat both
time.
of them.
Well,
you saw me on the cruise ship. I had 6.
I know. But I just bought what I did buy 2 because you've been on this "don't feed me too much" thing. So,
well, that's you. It ain't me. It's you.
Me?
You still think we have kids living here?
No.
When was the last time you made, say, a couple of chili enough for, like, say, a couple of bowls? That's it. When was the last time? Never.
Never.
When was the last time you made it enough vegetable soup for a couple of bowls, which is all you really need?
Never.
And never. When we have vegetable soup, I'm probably eating this vegetable soup for 2 weeks.
No.
I don't eat it all in one day because you get tired
but you're not getting eaten in 2 weeks.
Oh.
It's about 4 days.
Well,
That's about all it lasts.
Yeah, well, still. You cook like you got 16 people here.
Well, I said there's no way of making it smaller.
That's what she said.
Oh, God, you're sick. Son of Marbacher, you're trying to start trouble. I know you are. So did the Morris family sell the villages to Elon Musk on January 1st? Oh, my goodness. Don't know. Haven't heard that rumor yet.
Oh, rumors run wild here.
Yeah. Laura Lampy said it didn't take a few years for the stores and restaurants to get established at Brownwood. No, it doesn't. Like I said, when we moved here, our friends asked us why we were moving to the dark side, because there was nothing here. They had food trucks at Brownwood when we moved, and the restaurants weren't open. They did have the entertainment at night, but that's all they had open down there when we moved here. And then it'd be the same way at Eastport. You know, they're selling the houses and everything around there. But the whole town won't actually get going until later in the year. But yeah, there'd be a lot of stuff there, though. Just looking at the plans that they have for the place and the things they say they're going to put in there, it's just totally unique, I think.
It's coming. That's how you kill rabbits.
Yeah.
It's coming. Just be patient.
Oh,
Trust me, it will be there. I can't tell you what's going to be there, but I can guarantee you, you talk about a grocery store, no, you're going to see probably half a dozen grocery stores down there.
Oh, you'll have the shopping plazas like we've got here.
Have the shopping plaza, and there'll be a grocery store in there.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It
wouldn't surprise me if they open up a furniture store down there and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Laura says, my employer makes red lentil pasta, spaghetti, rotini, and penne. I know. I bought a lot of it, Laura. Restomania says, Elon did put in a bid for Skip's YouTube channel, but Skip said he had enough money, so he turned it down.
Yeah, I told Elon I didn't need his help.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got enough to take care of.
Oh, yeah. Chuck says, sounds like Navy beans. I'm not sure. That's probably what your mom made.
Navy beans? I don't know.
Your mom probably did.
It might have been. When she got done, I can tell you the beans and the broth in there always had kind of like this real light looking, pinkish, brown kind of look to it. I don't know if that's Navy bean or not.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of the beans that I've eaten, especially the ones like at Mexican restaurants, it isn't the bean. Beans don't really have much of a flavor to it, but it's the hull, the outer shell. Some of these beans, that hull is just too tough to eat. I mean, to me, I just don't care for it.
Oh, and David Perry wants to know if there's any info on the sinkhole that opened up at the Hillsborough Trail near the pool. And I don't think he knows about that yet. That come over the wire last night. They had the Hillsborough Trail and Druid, I think, it was on Druid, and they had it down to one lane because they had a depression.
Where?
They didn't call it a sinkhole.
Yeah, where?
On Hillsborough.
Where?
Down to the past the post office, and you turn.
That road?
To the left, yeah.
Oh.
And I said they had a depression, is what they call it.
Well, they've had a problem on Hillsborough Trail when we first moved in. They called it a sinkhole. And we told people, they use that word way too freely down here, sinkhole. And they find out later it's leaky pipes, washes the sand away, and the ground just starts to, like she says, a depression. Doesn't mean it's a sinkhole.
Yeah. But I said, we don't know for sure. Haven't had that much information on it, just that it happened.
Yeah.
And I said, they said that
I'll check it out.
road was down to one lane.
This is the first time hearing
because
about
of it. So, and Santa Mom Barker says, I never send food back. Kathy A says, I haven't sent food back. I tip for the service. So if the server is nasty, sorry, no tip. You know, I had a talk with one of my neighbors this morning because I think we've had a change in our mail carriers. You're at the mail station here.
Are we getting the wrong mail again?
Well, yeah, and we have been, and I'm getting her mail. But anyhow, I said that I got I always send them something for Christmas. You know, you do that automatically. I do the mail carrier, the paper carrier, that kind of thing. And her Christmas card come back and said return to sender. And I said, you know, she's right there in the mail thing. And I put the address on it that she had sent me. So I don't think she's there. I think we've changed mail people because she had it down pat once she was in there for a while. But we must have a new one because we're getting it mixed up again. And actually, I have one now for the neighbor next door. So they're getting closer. But, yeah. So, the rest says, sounds like FMK's actually warmed up Cisco truck food.
FMK what?
Is actually warmed up Cisco truck food.
It all is.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I've said about restaurants here. I'm not putting a restaurant down for it, but the fact of it is, it all started when somebody was asking about where's the best seafood, fresh seafood. Mm-hmm. And I said, there is no fresh seafood here. Oh. If it don't come off a Cisco truck, you don't get it to eat. And that's pretty much the truth. If you want to get fresh seafood, last time me and Sue had what I would call really fresh seafood, we went to Punta Gorda down there and ate. I haven't really had any fresh seafood here. And I'm not saying you can't go over to Leesburg and find a restaurant maybe that does that. But here in the villages, I don't think we have any.
Now, they do have a seafood place over on
but is it fresh?
466. Seafood? Yeah, I've not spent a lot of time there, but I believe it is. But like I said, that's why I have a problem. They have one up at the farmer's market on Saturday. They have a guy that has a little truck type thing, trailer, that has seafood in it.
Yeah, and I've seen quite a few of them around where somebody have a trailer and like a freezer on the back, and they'll have like, I don't know.
But I've never got anything there because I always go for scallops and they never have any. But like I said, they have quite a following, so I'm assuming it must be pretty good. But like I said, I always look for cod. We're used to cod, but it's not common down here. So everything you get that's cod down here is frozen. And I said, by the time you thaw it out, it's watery. It's just, just not what we're used to. And, but.
Yeah, I'm just not interested in it. If it's food that you know you're going to throw half of it out, maybe, even if there's a question mark, if this may be good, may not be good, we don't know, then just don't buy it. Yeah. You know, the other day she sent me a thing from the grocery store. She said, I'm getting ready to leave. Do you have anything you want? And I usually ask for some of the stupidest stuff that I want. Yeah. I got a hankering for it. Yeah. But she knows what I'm talking about. So I want some sugar bear. And she said, they don't make that anymore. I said, what? I've been eating that since I was a kid. What do you mean they don't make it anymore? She said, they don't make it anymore. I said, why? She said, well, I don't know. So then last night she comes in there and she said, hey, I found it on Amazon. How many boxes do you want? So I told her to get me like a case of it, so that way I have it when I have I get hankerings. And when I get a hankering, I want it.
Joyce Gadden says, hey, Sue and Skip, love your videos. Can't find the one where you recommended someone to power wash your house. Who was that? It's No Pressure Incorporated.
Who's that? Who's that?
Joy Skadden or Skaden?
I don't know. I sent somebody an email last night telling them exactly who I used. And then Jerry even posted on Patreon, I think, or what? Somebody on Patreon was asking, I guess. He even posted the video. Sue and I's done like 6 videos talking about who does everything for us, phone numbers, addresses, all that kind of stuff. Don't ask me price. I don't want to hear it no more. And anyway, but
they change price from
you
one
can
year
Google
to the next.
it. It's called No Pressure House Wash. Mm-hmm. I don't have the phone number on me right now, or I'd give it to you. But No Pressure House Wash. I think their main office is out of Leesburg.
I think, I don't know.
It's either Leesburg or Fruitland Park.
Yeah, and we've used them for several years. And we usually put out a video at the first of the year, around the first of the year, about the vendors that we do use, that we trust. And I don't know if we'll
I
be
don't
able to
do it
that.
much anymore, and I'll tell you why. I've caught you people, maybe not necessarily you, but you know what I'm talking about. You're going to different YouTube channels and asking the same damn question, and then you're trying to drag me into this fight back and forth, and I'm not getting into that. So that's why I didn't do a video this year.
Hey, Marcia. She says, Happy New Year. Bill Walsh, Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, and William says that the popsicles are made from whipped cat milk. Wrestler says,
I want to know who milks the cat.
Wrestler says those are called persicles.
Yeah, right.
Joseph Smith, it's funny you mentioned Frisch's tartar sauce because we have family in Fort Meade, Florida from Ohio, and we're bringing them some this weekend while we're visiting. Really? Well, I said that was one of our subscribers sent it to us, Lexi and Darren in Ohio. And I said, I was just, when I
it
opened
ain't just me that misses the food up north.
No. And I said, we always liked Frisch's. I said, I never got the same thing he did, of course.
Nothing fancy or anything. They were just, I don't know, part of growing up.
Yeah, and then when it changed to Shoney's, it kind of got to be...
Shoney's ain't even like anything.
It kind of got to be like a old people cafeteria.
Yeah, they have a...
It didn't have the same thing.
A buffet, and they didn't offer any of the sandwiches that was the same, and I don't know. I don't even know how Shoney's even got started, truthfully. Somebody told me because the family was splitting up. That's why Big Boy went one way and Shoney's went another.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true
I know
or not.
that they did move out of Indiana years ago, and that we was really tickled when we found that one in Kentucky.
No. When we moved to Brownsburg, I was coming back from Louisville, Kentucky. We knew we was going to buy this house, but I don't think we closed on it yet. And I told Sue, I said, well, just south of Indianapolis there a little ways, there's the Big Boy down there. Remember that? It was on 65. I was just right there. We went down there one day, and the sign was gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
I buy a house, and Big Boy closed.
They all moved out of Indiana, so we was really thrilled when we seen the one in Kentucky because it didn't have exactly the same, but it was pretty darn close.
Which, the one in Kentucky? Mm-hmm. It's exactly the same.
It was
even the name's the same. Fraser.
No, you were the one that just got through saying that the sauce was.
That was the one in California.
Okay.
It's called Bob's Big Boy. That's not the same. But the one in Kentucky, that's the family. It used to be Fraser's Big Boy up in Indiana. They moved out of town, went to Kentucky, and I found 3 or 4 of them in Kentucky called Fraser's Big Boy.
Frisch's.
I'm sorry, Frisch's Big Boy.
Yeah.
And the one there in Georgetown is Frisch's Big Boy, and is exactly the thing that's they're digging you for an extra buck is you could order a platter. And on the platter, you got fries and a coleslaw. No big deal, but you got fries and coleslaw. So I went in there with Scooter. He said, I forgot when he brought it up. He brought it up. I said, well, we'll go in here and we'll get this sandwich. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's good. I said, it's nothing spectacular, but it's good. We go in there, and the lady comes. I didn't even look at the menu. She says, what do you need? And I said, I want to get me a Big Boy platter. What do you want, Scooter? She looked at me. She said, we don't have any platters. I said, what? My mind just, what? And she said, no, we don't have any platters. I said, you sure? Because Frisch's has had platters for 50 years. She said, no, not anymore. She said, what you do now is you order the Big Boy sandwich. It comes with fries. And then for $1 more, you can get the coleslaw.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, my God, these people.
Hey, you got to make 11, right?
Yes.
Marcia says, you know what? It's hard to find good homemade dill pickles with dill stems in the brine.
You're right.
Yeah, nobody does that anymore.
No, and good dill pickles is hard to find, too. She's right.
David and Gail says, Skip, Sammy Joe's restaurant on the north end has great pizza.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I've had 50 recommendations about pizza. We're looking for a specific pizza that does not exist in the state of Florida.
And I don't think we've had a pizza from Sammy Joe's.
I ain't going to have one either.
Well, I mean, that's the way you find out whether you like it or not.
Send me a picture of the toppings. I'll let you know if it's good.
Okay.
The pizza we get up north, we get the, they don't call them small, medium, large anymore. It's always like a 10
combination.
No, it's a 10-inch, a 12-inch.
Yeah.
What size do we get?
Like 16-inch.
Yeah, but we really shouldn't do that.
Yeah, we should.
Because by the time we get done with most, so damn fat, we can't even walk.
And I don't do red meat, but I can put away that pizza.
But anyway, if I was to take a picture of the top of this pizza, which I have, it's on my RV channel. You can see it.
Yeah.
There's probably a pound of hamburger on this thing, mixed with sausage and pepperoni. And that's cheese. What I'm looking for.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And Marcia said in that group you're talking about, it's called travelers. Yeah. The Romanians that you were talking about, they're called travelers.
I can tell you in the paper, whenever they're arrested, they simply tell you Romanian.
Well,
They're Romanians. So
yeah.
these two that were just recently arrested are here illegally, and they admitted it.
And Joseph Smith says in Ohio we had the gypsy arriving in the spring, and their work was suspect to say the least. Yes,
Yeah.
It's been a problem everywhere. I mean, it's not just here.
Well, I'm not saying I'm just warning people that's new that happen to watch our channel. I say I'll give you the good, bad, and ugly here. Romanians are in town.
Yeah.
Beware.
And a lot of times it's right after a hurricane. You know, where they need a lot of construction people, they need a lot of work, and people need it done. They can't wait on a contractor for 2 years to get something done. That's when they seem to filter in. When there's lots
especially
of work.
if you need a handyman, and they're tough to find here. They really are. Nobody wants to do it. I know one. I've called him twice. He won't answer his phone because he don't have to. I talked to Linda, and she says that he's hard to get a hold of because he's so busy. And he told us right here at the house. I'll give the guy credit. He told us here at the house. He said, I don't advertise. He says, unless you're a referral from somebody that I've done business with before, he said, I don't take on new customers. He doesn't have to. And that's when, if you got a small project like I had, a few shingles missing on the roof, that's usually when they start driving around these neighborhoods in their little cars and pickup trucks and tell you, well, I'll come out here and I'll fix that roof. And, well, you need to give me $100 so I can buy the material. And then they take your money and leave, and you never see them again.
Yeah. Rosemary Laptop says cows eat grass, so that makes it vegan to eat them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Jerry Bell says Irish travelers. Well, you know, I imagine they have them all kinds, but that's what they're called as travelers. So
if an animal cannot live in my house with me, I will eat it. I ought to probably think about that because I'm a monkey. I don't know. Would I let a monkey live in there?
Yeah.
There's a lady down here who's got a monkey. I seen it in her golf cart when I was golfing once. I thought it was funny as hell. I call them squirrel monkeys. I don't know what they're called. You used to be able to buy them in a store. You can't anymore. Not here.
Or something like that.
Had a little collar on it, and it had a seat and had a little stand she had over in the passenger side. This monkey would just sit there and just kind of look at everybody.
Yeah, I bet it behaved better than Buddy.
I couldn't get my eye off of it. I kept sitting there and watching this monkey.
Karen Ross says Slocum tomatoes are the best, grown in Slocum, Alabama. Well, that may be true. I don't think I've ever had any from Alabama, but it all has to do with the dirt, that good black dirt.
Alabama, if I remember right, they're kind of like Georgia. They got a lot of red clay.
Yeah.
Which I don't know anything about it, but anyway, yeah.
Anyway,
all I know is anybody's tomatoes got to be better than Florida's.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, if you come from here, it might not. There's answer you the question.
If they were born here, they don't know the difference between a good tomato and a bad tomato.
Okay. Cinema Barker says too many YouTube channels now. They're all the same stuff.
They are.
Well, I can't say that we are.
No, I'm always looking for something different. Always. And even when I find something different to do, it gets emulated. Different name or whatever, but it's the same thing. Yeah. So I'm running out of ideas. That's why I've been pushing Patreon page, because I put stuff on there that unless you're a member, you don't see it. So you can't emulate it.
Williams says put a carrot in your tomato sauce to absorb the acid. Well, I've never heard of that, but that might work.
Got me on that one.
Yeah.
Can I eat the carrot when we're done?
And Clara May says, or a potato. Now, that would make sense, a potato, because I know if you salt something too much, if you put potato in it, it'll pick up that salt. So that would make sense.
You know, back when the stock market went to hell in a handbasket, I was talking to Tom. He was my partner I used to run in California with. And I was looking at I was watching my 401k like everybody else was, just go down, 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 and down. And Tom said, I don't have any money in a stock. He said, the only stock that I invest in is the stock that I can eat. I looked at him and I said, what? He said, yeah, stock, cattle, hogs.
Well, it makes sense. Yeah, and William says, Chef Boy, I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of that way. And I said that because I can see the grease congealing in those cans.
I don't know. I think people are just too hard. You got to remember, this isn't made to be an everyday family dinner. It's just something to supplement you, something for the mom's working. She's got to get the kids ready for whatever, Cub Scout meeting, and they need a little something to eat. Butter bread when I was a kid, a can of spaghetti in a bowl, but they don't call it that for kids. They call it SpaghettiOs.
Yeah. They make the SpaghettiOs. Senator Malmark says Costco breaks ground in January. Yes. And I said, I'm waiting for it.
Waiting for what?
Costco.
Yeah, we need another place to shop.
Well, I go to Sam's or I go to BJ's. And I said, and I don't do that for the fact that they've got thing in bulk because there's just two of us. So I never did, buy anything. Well, I buy the toilet paper in bulk because we did have a toilet paper shortage.
I don't need a toilet paper.
Well,
I got a bidet and I fell in love with it.
Yeah. But I remember when last time there's a toilet paper shortage and my sister-in-law was staying here at the house and we were gone. We were on the road and she was staying here at the house. And I worried about that. And I said, it's a good thing. And I said, I bought the toilet paper in bulk because I had plenty in here to get her through till we got back. And I said, we were in the motorhome and we went to the
Rockport
RV dealer in Rockport.
Oh, yeah, because they didn't
and got the RV toilet paper.
Yeah, and keep in mind, my cousin's wife works at Walmart.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I said, hey, when you come home tomorrow, I said, bring me some toilet paper home, whatever you can get a hold of. She said they weren't accepting any more shipments of toilet paper for like 6 more weeks.
Yeah.
Nobody had any. Everybody was clamoring for everything from hand towels to whatever.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there one day and I was talking to my cousin. I said, have you got an RV dealer around here? You remember Rockport, if you've never been there, it's not secluded, but it's not like a city. And he said, yeah, about 20 miles down the road, there's a small RV dealer down there. They don't sell RVs. He said, but they work on them and they have parts. He said, what do you need? I said, well, let's go down there. I'm going to see if they got any RV toilet paper because nobody ever thought about that. We went down there and right by the front door, there must have been 50 cases of RV toilet paper. Do you really need RV toilet paper? No, you don't. But it was all they had. So I went ahead and got a case of it, took it home. And I said, well, we're good. And then people started asking us, where'd you get it at? And I said, down to the RV dealer. And they were all saying the same thing. Never thought of that. Next day, Ron had to go down there for something. And he comes home and he says, all that toilet paper was there yesterday? Yeah. He said, the guy said it's all gone. Sold it all.
And Senator Barker says the Costco target date is November 1st, grand opening. Yes.
Of this year?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Well, and the new Target, they just about got it up. They've got the Outback Steakhouse is up, and the mattress warehouse is already open. And so the steakhouse has to get open. And so far, I haven't seen them hiring yet. And that's usually when you can find out about when they're going to open, is when they start hiring. So,
what time is it? I can't see.
It's 1:50.
Okay, get ready to close it down.
Okay. But thank you, Senator Marburg. I did not know that date. That's good.
Let me ask you a question, because I'm not a shopper. I'm pretty practical about things. I mean, I could probably do my week's grocery shopping at a gas station. Right? I mean, go to Wildwood, they sell everything in there.
Yeah.
Except meat, maybe. But anyway, what can you buy at Sam's or Costco that you can't get at the other store? What does Costco sell that Sam's don't? What does Sam's sell that Costco don't? And what do either one of them stores sell that the other one, what's it called?
BJ's.
BJ. What do they sell that BJ don't sell?
I don't know.
My point is, we don't need all these stores. It's just another place to go, but it's the same stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could sit and order everything off of Amazon.
No, I'm talking about the stores.
Well, I'm just, they have a lot of things going for it. I've now did a lot of shopping. I've only been in a Costco once, actually, with the kids.
So you don't need a Costco?
I would like one.
We don't have one now, and you're getting along just fine.
Well, it's closer. It'll be closer to us than having to go all the way on 441.
How far is anything in the village?
I'm just saying, it's
You can get a golf cart. Hey, can you get a golf cart to Costco? See, this could be the difference.
Yes. It's going to be
But you can't get a golf cart to Sam's.
No.
So see, that could be the difference right there. Can you get a golf cart at the BJ's?
No.
So Costco will be the only one that has golf cart accessibility.
Yeah.
See, for me, that would make a difference.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Joyce Gadden says, Jerry, I know that I just want the name of the guy who uses. We trust his opinion. Joy, it's like I said, the company is called No Pressure because they do not pressure wash. They use a chemical that they spray on, and then they just wash it off with a garden hose. The chemical does the work. You don't need that high pressure, and the high pressure gets into your insulation and everything, through the vents up here. So that's why we use the no pressure. But the guy himself, they have different. It's a family business, I believe.
The guy that I request every time he comes here, only because, not to say any other better or worse, his name's Jason, because he's the only one there that has a steam cleaner on a trailer that he pulls behind his truck. And I have him steam clean my edging here when he comes here.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I request him. And Jason's a good guy.
Yeah. Wrestler says, my grandma used to slice an apple in half and put into her pork and sauerkraut, then take it out when serving the sauerkraut. We asked, she told me it takes the parts out.
I was going to say maybe I kind of calm it down from being so sour.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I haven't had sauerkraut since, actually, I don't think I've had sauerkraut since Grandma passed. Or have I? If I have, I forgot where. It must not have been that good, or I'd remember.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to get through all of these. We're running out of time here. Let me give you the poop on the scoop here about what's going on. We've got on the squares tonight. In Brownwood is Uncle Bob's Rock Shop. Lake Sumter is Voodoo Gypsies. Spanish Springs is Empire. Sawgrass is Studio 77. Tierra del Sol is Warren McCullough from 3 to 5. Blondie's is Chris Cockburn from 2 to 4. Let's see. Saturday in Brownwood is the Car Club Showcase from 5 to 9. And I believe tomorrow night is the market night at Brownwood. I think tonight is Lake Sumter Landing, market night. It's a little bit different than the farmer's market. There's also Dade Battlefield reenactment. It's an 1835 reenactment, where they dress up in the Army clothes. It's at the Dade Battlefield State Park, Saturday and Sunday, at 7200 Battlefield Parkway in Bushnell. They open at 9, and the reenactment begins at 2 p.m. It's $5 a person and $3 parking. You can visit DadeBattlefield.com and get all the information. But it's kind of cool. I like Dade Battlefield. Let's see, there's a British Invasion dance party. All Beatles extravaganza Sunday, 6:30 to 8:30 at Lake Meona Rec Center. Enjoy sweet treats and coffee while dancing with British Invasion Band. Dress as your favorite Beatle or character. Prizes for best costume, $15 to get in. They also have a 50-50 raffle. You can make reservations, or if you have a reservation, you can pay at the door. But you got to have the reservation. So you go to BritishInvasionDP@gmail.com. So get your reservations because they don't have much room. But that sounds like fun, doesn't it? Can you imagine dressing like your favorite Beatle?
I had a haircut like a Beatle when I was in high school.
I know you did.
I also wore a Nehru jacket.
Yeah, you had some really nice Nehru jackets.
I was radical.
Friday is karaoke at Mystic Ice Cream, 1217 West Miller Boulevard, Furtland Park, at 5:30. We love Mystic Ice Cream, and I said I've not been to their karaoke, but I can imagine it's probably pretty fun around here. And the one in Furtland Park is a pretty good sized place. So.
I think Judy and Linda and took somebody else. I think they went down there a couple weeks ago for a painting class.
I went with them.
And they didn't do it that karaoke the same night?
No, it wasn't there. It was at the one out on 441. But yeah, the
So you were gone?
God. Oh, Marcia says, everyone please pray for the folks that were injured in New Orleans. Yes, that was an awful accident. Okay, Claire May says the French water cooking is called Swiss vide, means under vacuum. Yes. And Mark Sears says, I love sitting in my recliner in snowy Marshall, Michigan, and listening to you two. I feel like I'm in Florida for 2 hours. Happy New Year. Thank you, Mark.
Well, come on down for a month. Well, he's working now.
Yeah.
That's the problem with work. It really limits you on everything. Everything.
Marcia says, so far there's a UGA student in critical condition from that awful thing there in New Orleans. Sherry Bynes-Stebbins says, does anyone know what is going on Rolling Acres? Whereabouts? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going in there.
Building a whole
there's big apartment
complexes. It was announced they're building another new community over there.
Yeah.
And everybody up there in Lady Lake's raising hell. Or no, Fruitland Park.
Yeah.
We're at one of them saying that the traffic on that road, the road needs upgraded, and it does.
Yes, it does.
The road is terrible.
And they didn't have it in the works, but now that they're putting all those new housing in there, I think they'll have to do something pretty soon because it's end-to-end cars at times there. And you wouldn't expect it on that backcountry road.
What they could do is what the Wildwood Commission does. They can hold the contractor up for ransom. That's what they do. It's just politics. They'll say, well, we'll give you your 500 building permits if you pay $2 million so we can update this road out here. The contractor over here on the other side of 301, ain't the village just, he's wanting to build something over there, some more houses over there. And they told him that he couldn't right now. They're holding him off because they have to do a sewer thing down there, a sewer line, what do you want to call that? Drainage. And they said they don't have that, and they call it's not in the budget. But the contractor said, I will pay to have that line brought down there, and I'll pay to have the road reconstructed to get those permits. So they will do that.
Yeah. Deans of Detective says Barbara Jean's in St. Augustine for seafood is so worth the drive. Well, I said that might be a trip we might have to take.
Where are we going?
St. Augustine.
For what? I've been there.
Barbara Jean's in St. Augustine.
I've been there.
Seafood.
What am I going there for?
Seafood.
I see food.
Happy New Year, Kevin.
I see food, I eat it.
Kyle Reed says, Happy New Year, Skip and Sue. Sad day for New Orleans. Always something. Yeah, that was, I just heard bits and pieces of that this morning, but I kept seeing it come up as how many people were injured, that kind of thing.
We're in New Orleans?
Mm-hmm.
God, that number's all over the place. I've heard as upwards of something like 20 people killed.
Yeah. Ed says Skyline Chili. I like Skyline Chili, but it wasn't kind of my favorite. That's the way I make chili. Matter of fact, the way they do it.
I like what's the other one called? Steak and Shake. I like it better.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to this Steak and Shake because I absolutely refuse to do somebody else's job. I'm not going to do it. I don't work there, and so when you walk in that door now, there's nobody there. There's a kiosk. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Sherry Barnes-Stebbins says Frisch's is closing most of their stores. Yeah, that's kind of what they, Lexi and Darren, when they sent us the tartar sauce, they told us that they thought that they were shutting down the whole chain because of bad management. So, yeah, we hope that doesn't happen, but you never know. And Ann-O says there's still a Frisch's Big Boy in Richmond, Indiana, at least for now. Well, and there was still one in Anderson, too.
There's one in Dayton. There's one in Dayton, Ohio. Across the line. It's there on the right.
But it wasn't the same. I mean, they had turned into, like I said, like a cafeteria.
Oh, the one in Anderson?
Yeah.
It's gotten really kind of dumpy.
It was really yucky, so.
Kind of nasty.
But I don't know about that one in Richmond. Well, maybe we have to check it out.
Can I get my RV in there?
I don't know.
Well, these are things you got to check out.
Yeah. Catherine Hillier says, Happy New Year, Skip and Sue. You both look phenomenal. Well, thank you, Catherine.
I always look phenomenal, by the way.
And Ann-O says, and 3 Pizza Kings in Richmond. Says, and 3 Pizza Kings in Richmond.
Pizza King. Yeah, that's my number 2 pizza joint right there, yeah. Pizza Kings. I assume they're all the same, but maybe they're not. But here's the thing, and I've been told this by several people that work there. I knew the guy that owned the original Pizza King there. Like, matter of fact, on the CB radio at the time, his handle was Pizza Man. And when we would go out and scrape snow, I could get on the CB radio and tell Pizza Man I want a such and such pizza to go or whatever because I'm scraping. Sometimes he would give me a pizza if I was scraping his parking lot. And while I was there eating the pizza, I'd scrape his parking lot. And that's how it worked. I don't know if he still owns it or not, but I know he bought the franchise to that Pizza King before Pizza King changed to some other legal firm or something. Because the waitress last time said other people has asked to have the recipe and have the different pizzas, sent elsewhere, frozen.
They wanted him to open one in Florida.
And this guy, he said no because they won't allow him to make them the way he's making them up there now. It's just like I knew a guy that had a Dairy Queen back in the day before Dairy Queen is the corporation it is today, and he served anything he wanted. He served bacon and eggs for breakfast, and then when the new people took over, they told him he couldn't do that anymore under the franchise deal. Well, I found out later that's not true. If you guys want to Google a little history here to find something out, the state of Texas Dairy Queens are different than every other Dairy Queen in the United States. Google it and go read it.
Okay. Well, and with that, I think we're going to get out of here. Yeah. So it's after 2. So say goodbye.
What?
Say goodbye.
Bye.
We're done, y'all.
Oh.
Have a great day. Happy New Year to you.
Wait a minute. Buddy's under the chair or something.
We'll see you next year.
I don't know where he's at. Oh, he's over here. Wait a minute. He's stuck. Come here. Buddy, how did you get under there?
Said it wasn't easy, but I made it. Bye, y'all. See you on the other side.